Concerning the powers and functions of the state, we have the scope of state functions, as well as in a comparison to the strength of state institutions. Minimal functions of the state would be to provide pure public goods, defense, law and order, property rights, macroeconomic management, public health, improving equity, and protecting the poor. Intermediate functions of the state would include addressing externalities, education, environment, regulating, monopoly, overcoming imperfect information, insurance, financial regulation, and social insurance. And then, of course, you also have activist functions of the state, including industrial policy and wealth redistribution. To give this a sort of historical context, we have the American Revolution, which institutionalized democracy and the principle of political equality. The French Revolution laid the basis for an impersonal modern state, much as the Qin unification had done in historical China. Both fortified and expanded the rule of law in the common law and the civil code in the late 18th century, respectively, at the historical moment when the foundations for three sets of institutions, the emergence of the modern state, the rule of law, and democratic accountability, had been put in place, but before any of them was fully developed into its modern form. The modern state idea existed in the late 16th century, but no society on earth in which the majority of people participate in the political system. The political institutions that were created in the late 18th century would nevertheless become the pinnacle of a truly modern bureaucratic system. This new administrative hierarchy would not have worked without the creation of a more modern educational system designed to support this bureaucratic system concerning law and an administrative state. There are still problems, however, with all types of governments, since the times of band-level societies and their transition to tribe-level societies, to the eventual emergence of the state, which, again, has an administrative capacity and a military capacity. First, however, I want to briefly define the background for all political life, institutions, and the study of development. We will define institutions. We will also define development. Institutions are, quote, stable, valued, recurring patterns of behavior, end quote, that persist beyond the tenure of individual leaders. Again, institutions are, in essence, persistent rules or normalities in societies that shape, limit, and or channel human behaviors. And until there is a single central source of authority that exercises a legitimate monopoly of force, citizen security will be non-existent, as well as the actual conditions necessary in order for individuals within the populated community and ecosystem to flourish and reach their greatest self-actualization. Many times, however, throughout human existence, social change has a tendency to move beyond the limits of its own institutions. And by definition, institutions, again, are persistent patterns of behavior that are created in response to the needs of a particular historical moment. But societies educate their citizens and employ new technological innovations. Existing institutions often fail to accommodate these new phenomena and, as a result, find a hard temperament to change what is reasonable. Development, on the other hand, is the study of human behavior over time. It is not an endless catalog and chronicle of personalities, ideas, events, discoveries, conflicts, and policies. Development necessarily centers around the process by which political and educational institutions emerged historically, evolved over time, and then eventually decayed. And in order to comprehend the exciting and fast-changing political and economic development of the contemporary world, it is pertinent to put them into the context of the long-term story of the underlying institutional structure of societies, political development, historically. It is a separate process from economic and social growth. And again, we have institutions that are persistent patterns of behavior that are created in response to the needs of a particular historical moment. And we also have development, which is the study of human behavior over time. Thank you for listening to Powers and Functions of the State. And just to briefly mention, politics is the debate surrounding how power should be divided in a state. Thank you.